intersectional. And one of the things that we do, or I've been involved with, it's always headed by the Care Center director. It also happens to be Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And I thought about our Green Dot training, which is based on 3 Ds, right? Delegate, distract, or direct, delegate, distract. And I'm adding on a 4th D, which is document. Because we think about these things in an interpersonal violence way as they pertain to things like sexual assault. But I don't think we should just think about these things in that way. And I was really heartened when I heard the Attorney General from the state of Minnesota reference even one of the phrases that we use all the time in Green Dot training, which is that nobody can do everything, but everybody can do something. And I wanted to create a little space to hold up the bystanders that really played an important role, with Derek Chauvin being held accountable. I'm going to name each of them and talk about where they fit in, and then I have just a call to action for all of us as we continue, like especially for allies. But 18-year-old Darnella Frazier and 9-year-old Judeah Reynolds, and you all might know who they are. They were going to the grocery store to cut foods to get a snack that day. There's a community member, an elder named Charles McMillan. He was 61 years old. He is 61 years old. There's the off-duty firefighter, Genevieve Hansen, and there's the martial artist, Donald Williams. These people all turn out to be very significant. We know that Darnella and Judeah were involved with documenting what happened. And I know that they will hold on to trauma around that for a long time, but I think the bravery and the difficulty that they must have experienced and that they've shared that they experienced, and the trauma that they carry with them that has them waking up at night still, and maybe for years to come, still, they didn't walk away. They documented the incident on a cell phone. The martial artist, which is Donald Williams, he spoke directly to the officer and said, stop, that didn't work. Then he used delegation. He called the police on the police to say that there needed to be extra help. Also the elder, Charles McMillan, spoke to George Floyd, trying to calm him down as he was panicking necessarily, and also pleaded with the officers to stop. I think that these people who we know had been, the defense tried to paint a particular picture of these people as kind of a rowdy crowd, but I think the prosecuting attorney said that they were a bouquet of people from all walks of life in society, and it's true. And it really does bring to light that important point that we're talking about. There's so much more work to be done, and the work is piling up even right now while we're in this space together. But yet, without this collective group of people, I don't know if we would have had this accountability that happened right now. So I just want to really take a space to honor the power of the bystanders. Somebody recently told me, like, I'm not going to talk about this topic. I choose to stay neutral on these kinds of things. Somebody said that. I had a particular reaction to that. I'm going to read this quote and then just offer us a continued call to action. Neutrality helps the oppressor, never the victim. Silence encourages the tormentor, never the tormented. Sometimes we must interfere. When human lives are endangered, when human dignity is in jeopardy, national borders and sensitivities become irrelevant. Wherever men and women, and we could add in persons of different gender identities, are persecuted because of their race, religion, or political views, that place must, at that moment, become the center of the universe. I just think it's important to think about. Sometimes people will say, well, that's not my business. I'm going to stay out of that. And I don't think that, I think we're past that time. I think all of this is our business. And I always want to challenge people to think about what can we do with those 3 Ds, not only in interpersonal violence situations that might be related to sexual assault or dating violence, but how can we use those, or the 4 Ds, because I'm adding on the one called the documenting one, because that one is significant. How can we use those to make the world a little bit of a better place? And I always want to challenge people to think about, can we push back when somebody makes a comment like, I'm not racist, but, and then they follow it up with something that maybe seems a little bit racist. When somebody tells us a joke that's not particularly funny, or they just have a slight microaggression that is expressed, or if maybe you're in a meeting and you notice somebody talking over a colleague who maybe happens to be a white colleague happens to be talking over a person of color, can you subtly make some space for that voice to be heard? What are the little things that we can each do? I just want to call on us to keep thinking about that. And as I always say, if not us, who? If not now, when? And if not this, then what? So let's continue to just really do our part and be there for each other and for our community.